I think it was last Friday, or yeah, last Friday. We had a work meeting, the team, and my manager and I. And in that meeting, I just asked him a question which he got offended by, which he shouldn't have, because I was asking him to clarify our job roles and basically saying what everyone else was thinking, that he's not paying us enough, or asking him why he's only paying us what 6 a.m., which is Friday 6 a.m. in the morning. But then they had the orientation scheduled for Friday 8 a.m., which means I got like 2 hours between the time I get off to the orientation. So I talked to the person in charge of the orientation. She was like, well, we don't actually start until 9, so if you come at 8:45, that's good too. So I got off at 6. I ran home. I took a nap, went back, and the nap was like an hour and a half, and I had to be back for the orientation. And then I was at the orientation from like 9 to 12:30, and then I was supposed to go to my other job, the one where I'm having issues with the manager. But I let them know, hey, I can't come in today. Family emergency. Family emergency was I didn't get any sleep, and if I go over there, I'm probably gonna pass out. But anyway, I let them know that, and I went home, and I slept from 12:30 to 5:20. So I had like it was like 12:30 to 5, about roughly 4 to 5 hours of sleep. And then I went back Friday at 6 p.m. and worked until 6 a.m. Saturday morning. I should have been able to rest, but I had already scheduled. I have had an event this Valentine's Day weekend, this past weekend. There's gun shows out in Fort Worth, actually all over the DFW Metroplex, but the one that I went to this past weekend was in Fort Worth, and I went as a vendor, so I'm selling stuff. I'm not selling guns. I'm not a licensed federal arms dealer, but I was selling knives, so I had to man my stations. This was an event that I had been planning for like a couple months, and so there's no way that I was gonna miss that. So I ran from my 12-hour overnight shift to the gun show on Saturday, so I couldn't sleep. I had to go get all my equipment, all my merchandise, drive out there, set everything up, and sell. Thankfully, I'm not alone. I have a partner that I'm working with, so he manned the tables while I went. I told him like I gotta go sleep, so I went in. I set everything up with him. I put up all the merchandise. I put all the prices. I got everything ready to go. And then once the event started, I think I left maybe 30 minutes into the event. So I rushed home. I took a nap from I think 10 to about 4, and then I went back to the gun show to help secure everything, take all the special merchandise, secure it so that it would be safe, because you're responsible for your own security. There's police there and stuff like that, but if your items get stolen, it's not like they're gonna, I had to basically take everything back, and then I had to go from there, because the gun show ended at 5, so I had to stay till 5, and then I think I got out of there in 30 minutes, and then I had to go from there. So that was Saturday, right? So I didn't have time to, on Friday or Saturday, do the video, and then I went back to work at 6 p.m. So like 30 minutes after that, I went back to work, and I worked from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sunday morning, and then Sunday morning I was able to get like a 2-hour nap, because on Sundays, instead of starting at 9 a.m., the gun show started at 10 a.m. So I was able to get a 2-hour nap, and then I had to drive out there, set everything up, change the prices, because I actually did pretty good on Saturday, and so I had to change the prices, rearrange everything so that things would sell again. And then I manned it from 10 a.m. to 4. Then I had to clean up, and then finally I was able to go home and I was able to get some sleep. So that's why I said